Enes Kanter. Listen to what he said.
After careful consideration and reviewing the current eligibility guidelines, I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming
Is this officially the most toxic and destructive scandal in the history of professional basketball? Right now, the entire sports world is staring in disbelief as a vicious court clash between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky has completely spiraled out of control. We are talking about physical hits, brutal verbal attacks, an ex-NBA superstar stepping in to demand justice, heavy league fines, and even a lifetime suspension threat that could erase a player's career in an instant. Millions of fans are watching this story unfold while asking the exact same question. Did DiJonai Carrington just permanently destroy her own career because of a bitter personal rivalry with Sophie Cunningham? What you are about to hear will show you how quickly the WNBA ecosystem is collapsing under the weight of its own internal drama. To truly understand how this dynamic turned into pure hatred, you have to look at the fierce rivalry between Chicago Sky guard DiJonai Carrington and Indiana Fever star Sophie Cunningham. On the court, the tension between the Sky and the Fever has reached an absolute boiling point. During their recent matchup, things escalated far beyond normal basketball competition. Insiders report that, after days of social media shots and bitter comments surrounding league privilege and culture, Carrington took the rivalry to a physical level, delivering a targeted hard hit on Cunningham right in front of a sold-out arena. The court erupted into immediate chaos. While Cunningham stood her ground, the blatant disrespect ignited a wave of fan outrage that swept across the entire nation within minutes. As video footage of the incident went viral across every social media platform, the public backlash was fast, ruthless, and relentless. Fan boycotts began trending, ticket cancellations hit the front offices, and major corporate sponsors threatened to pull millions in funding. Realizing that her spot in the league was hanging by a thread, DiJonai Carrington reportedly released a desperate late-night online apology, attempting to backtrack on her actions.
DiJonai Carrington has just dropped a tweet moments ago, and in this tweet, she pretty much sounds like she's trying to backtrack her comments. DiJonai Carrington, about an hour ago, said, "I've never once claimed that the assessment of the foul was white privilege. That was your assumption. Try exercising your critical thinking skills. I know you study psychology. Furthermore, I'm the last thing from ignorant or asinine when it comes to speaking on white privilege. Do your research on that one. I actually went to school, one of the top universities, might I add, to educate myself on this exact subject. I would never use that term as a rhetorical weapon, knowing the historical and social weight it holds without having the proper evidence to sustain it to speak easy." So what did Emmanuel Acho and them say to kind of garner her to go off like that?
Made a basketball play, and the refs made a basketball ruling. So can we stick to basketball for a moment? Basketball play. She was attempting to go for the ball. At least she said so. She missed, and she missed egregiously. She missed, and she flagrantly hit Sophie Cunningham in the head. Now, flagrant 2, by definition, if you hit somebody with so much force that it could lead to injury, and if it doesn't appear to be a play on the ball. Though DiJonai's intention...
But the sports world immediately saw through it. Fans completely rejected the apology, labeling it a fake and forced attempt to avoid consequences. The WNBA front office, facing an unprecedented public relations disaster, immediately slapped Carrington with massive fines and issued a strict warning. However, for millions of furious viewers, a simple fine was nowhere near enough. People were demanding an immediate indefinite suspension. Just when DiJonai Carrington and the Chicago Sky thought they could weather the storm, the situation took a wild and terrifying turn that nobody saw coming. Former NBA center Enes Kanter officially announced his entry into the WNBA draft conversation, issuing a chilling warning to the league's bullies. Kanter made it clear that, if the WNBA refuses to protect players like Sophie Cunningham from targeted physical hits and toxic behavior, he will step onto the court himself, enforce respect, and completely dominate the competition.
Did y'all see what happened when this young lady got ejected from a WNBA game the other day for a flagrant on Sophie Cunningham? Did y'all see that? She got ejected from the game for that flagrant foul right there. And I'll be damned if that wasn't a flagrant 2. She mugged her. Damn near came across like decapitating her, for crying out loud. That was definitely a hard foul. Make no mistake about it. Nobody can argue about it. You can say what you want. We know what we saw. No way around it. DiJonai Carrington foul was clearly unnecessary. It was a flagrant foul penalty 2. It was absolutely positively correct call. It was called the flagrant 2. That's a flagrant 2 every single damn time. But you know things have devolved when you've got the Attorney General for the state of Florida saying that's why WNBA games ain't here, because guess what? We are the prosecutor. Attorney General James Uthmeyer. The WNBA knows better than to play games down here in Florida, because I'll be charging people with assault. I should probably clarify. Assault and battery. That is from the Attorney General of the state of Florida. Let me be very, very...
The prospect of a male NBA veteran stepping onto the court sent shockwaves of pure terror through Carrington and her allies. The narrative instantly flipped. The same players who had been acting untouchable on the court were now facing the ultimate humiliation on global television. That was when media legend Stephen A. Smith stepped forward to deliver a fiery, broadcast-shattering rant. Speaking angrily live on air, Smith went after Carrington and the league's leadership, stating, "You hit her. You bullied her. And now that the fans are boycotting, you want to pretend to be sorry. You are putting your own ego before the entire league." Reports are now circulating that, behind closed doors, WNBA executives and team managers are engaged in emergency discussions, openly debating a lifetime suspension and massive financial penalties for any player who continues to sabotage the league's multimillion-dollar economic boom. The message is crystal clear. The bullies are officially out of time.
If you own the WNBA team, no matter how much shit people are talking, they're making these guys so much money. How much? I'm rapping right now.
Yeah, money
that's
ain't
how bad
funny,
it's getting
Gunny.
right now. But
Get yourself a WNBA team. Gonna make it that green.
Tom,
Unbelievable, Pat.
First of all, Vinny, you're speaking pure logic about the coach. That is not a coach. She carries the title of coach, but she is a spokesman for the culture and the DEI standards of the WNBA.
Got it.
And she does not support her players. She supports that. So that's what's going on. You do not have coaches defending players the way you think you have. So here's the 4 choices they have, Pat. I all weekend I looked at it and I synthesized it. Number 1, they reject Cantor, and they reject the 2 guys as, hey, that's a PR stunt. They reject them. What happens? The heat and everything in the PR war and everything that's going on continues. So number 1, reject them. The war continues. Number 2, you establish a trans standard. You have to have transition surgery. Your hormones can't be this. There are trans standards that are out there that are still not creating fairness between men and women competing, but there are trans standards. So they've created trans standards and then say, now we're trying to make it fair and you guys don't qualify as trans standards. The third thing is they define eligibility by biological sex and therefore reject them as males. And then you have the LGBT community and everybody that's inside the WNBA goes nuts. Or number 4, you actually accept both and somebody's going to get hurt on the court, or it's just going to be raw mayhem. I think what's about to happen, Pat, they have to create a trans standard, but then you're going to have some guys that are in transition, but they're 6'7", 6'10", that are bigger and stronger, even post-transition, playing with these. Because I do not believe, Pat, what's inside the WNBA. Do you think they can go to a biological test like tennis?
They have to do it, Tom. They have to do it.
But if they do that, Pat, think about the culture and everybody that's inside WNBA. Won't it be warfare with the LGBT?
Let me tell you what's the bigger concern. Here's the bigger concern. Do you know what the bigger concern is? Do you remember that video of Brittany Griner in her backyard shooting the basketball without a shirt on? Everybody was like, that looks like a guy.
Yeah.
The
Brittany
bigger
Griner was a guy.
concern, if they do that, is the following. Here's a question for you. How many current players in the WNBA do you actually think were born a man? That's the question.
Pardon me?
Let me ask the question one more time. How many current WNBA player, what do you think are the likelihood that currently the WNBA has players that were born a male? How many today?
I think there's a 100% chance that there's more than just Brittany Griner.
Okay, so what do you think?
Griner.
You
I don't know.
believe that?
I don't know if Brittany was born a man. I mean, it certainly looks.
But the percentage. Here's all you have to answer.
It's not zero, maybe.
So what do you think it is? What do you think is the percentage that there's a player in the WNBA today that was born a man?
Shoosh.
Can you
it's
run
higher
the
than
poll?
0%.
By the way, can you do me a favor? Anybody, if you're putting like super chats, I'll read it off. I know right now I got a super chat from a.
The Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky are scheduled to meet again, but the entire landscape of the league has changed forever. Will DiJonai Carrington be forced off the court permanently, or will the league step in before things turn into an all-out brawl? This is no longer just a rivalry. This is a war for the future of women's basketball. What do you think about this wild situation? Should DiJonai Carrington face a permanent suspension for the hit on Sophie Cunningham? How do you feel about ex-NBA players threatening to enter the league to stop the bullying? Drop your thoughts in the comment section right now, and let's get this debate raging. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an explosive breakdown.